Hi everyone, Brian here. I have Jim from Champion Charters with me, and we're going to do a little Q&A about his business and about charter fishing. So, Jim, how long have you been fishing, and what led you to start a charter business?
Well, I've been fishing since I was a kid, and I've been fishing Lake Erie for it's been 40 years now. Our charter business, Champion Charter, has been in business now for this to be going on the 10th year, and is what got me involved in it. Both of my sons started first mating when they were 12 years old for several really good outfits in the area. Which led them to becoming captains when they were 18 years old, and then they done they ran as captains full time in the summer, all through their years of college. So before that came to an end, I thought that I would start a business, a charter business, for some type of a retirement or something to keep me busy. Well, I got one boat, and evidently I did things uh, halfway right, and with a lot of God's help, uh, things really took off. And then I decided to get a second boat, and then things continued to go excellent. And then we got a third boat. So we have two full-time captains, and my son and myself run. Uh, we run. My son runs more than I do. I haven't been able to run here for a little while, but so that pretty
That's
much
pretty,
wraps it
yeah,
up.
nice. It
Yeah,
grew quite
with
quickly.
that.
So, could you give us just a brief description of what a typical charter experience would be for folks?
Sure. So we have a standard 7 hour charter, and then we also have an executive charter. So the standard, I mean, the typical is we try to leave the dock at when it's just breaking daylight. Uh, and depending on where we're fishing, sometimes we might travel an hour to where there's good fishing. We also fish Canadian waters when that's necessary, or when the fishing's really good over there. Uh, we're open to uh, very experienced fishermen, right on down to families with uh, mom, dad, and young children. We enjoy teaching people how to fish, because that's what'll keep the sport of fishing going,
Alive,
is
sure.
people that get started. So we're so blessed with the fishery that we have here on Lake Erie. The walleye population, the perch has been kind of quite a bit down, actually, but our walleye fishing is just phenomenal. We do excellent, almost just throughout from spring all the way to fall. We can generally go out and catch a really nice box of walleye, if not limit most times. Which years ago wasn't possible. They, with the ODNR and a lot of other good resources, they've done so much for Lake Erie. Uh,
Absolutely.
I kind of got off track there a little bit, but so the typical day, so and we'll fish. Generally wrap it up, with enough time to get back into the dock. We always suggest if people want to bring a cooler with food and drinks. And then with our executive charter, it's an 8 hour charter. And with that, there's homemade. My wife makes homemade sandwiches, and there's a cheese and meat tray, cheese meat cracker tray, a bunch of snacks, chips, Pepsi products, bottled water, uh, and so that way for businesses and that, they a lot of times it's just easier. They could tell clients or employees just to show up and get on the boat, and the only thing they need is a 1 day Ohio
Sure.
fishing license.
Sure. So, with that in mind, what would people need to bring with them that they might not think of to make sure they have on the charter?
Well, I mean, if they look at the weather, we do always suggest bringing like some type of rain gear if there's a possibility of that, because we do fish in the rain. Uh, like I said, some type of snacks or some
Hmm.
food and drinks. They're welcome for that. We allow alcohol on the boat. That's not a problem. Uh,
So
with
you,
anyone that's not absolutely sure about seasickness, we always suggest to take one of the types of motion sickness medications, because that can just
sure.
ruin the day for everyone, and it's terrible when it happens, but it's not that often.
Sure. Well, sometimes people don't know until they're out there
Right.
that they
Well,
get seasick.
I always
So
I remind them, a day or two ahead of time of that. And then also we always try to ask people to wear some type of a soft sole shoe.
sure,
Not, we don't want like work boots and any type of
sure, on the boat. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. If someone was looking to book, how far in advance do you usually recommend them booking a charter?
if they're going to be booking in May and June, it's really, it's really good to book a seat the year ahead of
Ahead
time,
of time.
because we'll really get filled up.
Sure,
The other months we'll normally have some availability, with having 3 boats now.
sure.
That opened up a lot more availability. uh, but God willing, business with the 3rd boat will continue to grow, and even that'll start to get booked up more.
Sure, sure. Would you have any advice to a first timer on a charter other than bring your motion sickness medication?
I would just the motion sickness medication, bringing the appropriate sunscreen,
Sure.
appropriate clothing. If it's going to be cool, extra warm clothes, is you can bring them in a bag. We have plenty of room on our boats to put them. Our boats are much larger than most,
Hmm.
uh, and expect to have a great day.
It's wonderful. Yeah. One thing I didn't ask is how many people can you fit in a charter on your different boats?
So with our boats, we're allowed up to 6 customers and a captain and first mate.
Okay.
That's per U.S. Coast Guard regulation.
Sure. Certainly. Well, thank you. Is there anything else that you'd like to share about your business or charter fishing in general?
Yeah, I just, with I've been very, very fortunate. With my son's help and my wife, of course. We've been really blessed with the way that things have went.
Wonderful. Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad everything is so successful for you. Thank you very much for spending some time with us, and thank you all for watching.